If you are hearing this right now, this message is not random. Something led you here. Maybe it was curiosity, maybe it was timing, or maybe deep down your spirit knew you needed to hear this today, because only a small number of people will truly understand what is about to be said. And if you stay until the end, you might realize that the season you are in right now is not a delay. It is a setup. There are moments in life when everything feels quiet. Prayers feel like they are floating into the air with no answer coming back. Effort feels invisible. Waiting feels endless. You keep moving forward, but nothing seems to change. That feeling can slowly turn into doubt. Doubt in yourself, doubt in your path, even doubt in God's timing. But here is something most people do not realize. The period right before a major breakthrough often looks exactly like this: confusing, slow, uncertain, almost like nothing is happening at all. In this video, you are going to discover why your blessing may actually be closer than you think, even if your current situation says otherwise. You will learn the hidden signs that indicate a shift is already happening behind the scenes. Signs that many people miss because they look ordinary on the surface. You will also understand why struggles sometimes increase right before things finally change, and why that is not a punishment, but preparation. There is a reason farmers do not panic when they plant seeds and see nothing the next day. Growth is happening underground first. Roots are forming where no one can see. In life, the same principle often applies. Progress does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it moves quietly, step by step, until suddenly everything changes at once. The problem is that many people give up during the silent phase. They walk away right before the results appear. They miss opportunities because they look small. They miss blessings because they arrive differently than expected. Another thing you will learn today is how mindset can either open doors or close them. Science has shown that expectation influences perception. When someone believes nothing good is coming, the brain literally filters out opportunities. But when someone expects possibility, the mind becomes more alert to chances and solutions. Faith works in a similar way. It is not only spiritual, it also changes behavior, focus, and decisions. That combination often creates outcomes that feel miraculous. There are also psychological patterns connected to perseverance that many people do not talk about. Studies on resilience show that individuals who continue after repeated setbacks are statistically more likely to experience success than those who stop early. That means persistence itself increases probability. When faith and persistence combine, the effect becomes even stronger. Yet during difficult seasons, the human mind tends to focus on what is missing rather than what is forming. That is why encouragement at the right moment can change someone's entire direction. Today, you will also discover why closed doors are not always losses. Sometimes they are protection. Sometimes they are redirection. And sometimes they are clearing space for something better that you cannot yet see. History is filled with stories of people who thought they were failing, only to later realize they were being guided somewhere greater. The difference between those who eventually succeed and those who do not often comes down to one decision: continuing when it feels pointless. There is another reason this message matters right now. Many people are entering a period of transition without realizing it. Life moves in seasons. There are seasons for learning, seasons for waiting, seasons for growth, and seasons for harvest. Confusion happens when someone expects harvest during a growth season. But when the timing shifts, results can come faster than expected. Suddenly doors open, connections appear, ideas flow, opportunities arrive. From the outside, it looks like luck. From the inside, it is the reward of preparation. If you stay with this video until the end, you will understand how to recognize the moment when your season is changing. You will learn practical ways to stay aligned so you do not miss what is coming. Most importantly, you will gain reassurance that you are not forgotten. Delays do not mean denial. Silence does not mean absence. And struggle does not mean failure. There is also something deeply personal about messages like this. Sometimes a person hears the right words at exactly the right time. It shifts perspective. It restores hope. It creates motivation. That single moment can influence decisions that shape the future for years. So if this video reached you today, there is a possibility that it is arriving at the exact moment you need it most. Only a few people will truly listen. Many will scroll past. Many will dismiss it. But those who stay often find clarity they did not expect. So stay until the end, because one idea, one realization, or one sentence could be the thing that changes how you see your situation starting today. And now welcome to our channel, where we share messages that inspire faith, growth, and purpose. If you feel this message speaks to you, make sure to subscribe and join this community, because you never know which video might bring the encouragement you need at the perfect time. There are seasons when frustration quietly builds inside, not loud, not dramatic, just constant. You wake up, do what you need to do, keep moving forward, but deep down there is a question that keeps repeating. Why does it feel like nothing is changing? You pray, you hope, you try again, yet the results look the same. Days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, and slowly doubt starts creeping into places where faith used to live comfortably. It is not that you stopped believing. It is that you are tired of waiting, tired of wondering if anyone is listening, tired of putting in effort without seeing movement. Sometimes the silence feels heavier than the struggle itself, because when there is struggle, at least you know something is happening. But silence can make a person feel invisible, forgotten, overlooked, and that is when dangerous thoughts begin to appear. Maybe it is not meant for me. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe nothing will change. Many people never talk about this stage. They show victories, they show breakthroughs, they show celebrations, but the quiet period before everything shifts is rarely discussed. The truth is, this stage is more common than people realize. It is the moment when perseverance is tested the most, when faith stops being comfortable and starts becoming a choice. Here is the hidden truth that most people only understand later. Blessings often arrive when someone is closest to giving up, not because struggle creates rewards automatically, but because preparation usually takes longer than expected. Growth is happening where you cannot see it yet. Skills are forming, strength is building, perspective is changing, and timing is aligning with factors outside your control. Delays are not denial. They are often development. A preparation season does not look exciting from the outside. It looks slow, it looks repetitive, it looks uncertain, but preparation is what makes the reward sustainable when it finally arrives. Without preparation, success can collapse. With preparation, it can last. God often works in ways that are not obvious in the moment. Doors close that you wanted open. Plans fall apart that you thought were perfect. People leave who you expected to stay. At first, it feels like loss. Later, it can reveal itself as protection or redirection. What feels like a setback can actually be movement towards something better aligned with your path. There are also signs that a shift is getting closer, even if circumstances still look difficult. One sign is increased resistance. Challenges seem to multiply. Problems appear from different directions. This does not always mean you are on the wrong path. Sometimes it means you are moving towards something meaningful enough to require growth. Pressure builds strength. Resistance builds endurance. Another sign is the feeling of being pushed to change. Old habits start feeling uncomfortable. Environments that once felt normal begin to feel limiting. There is a restlessness inside, almost like an internal signal saying it is time to move forward. That discomfort can actually be guidance. Growth rarely happens in comfort zones. Unexpected closed doors can also be a signal. Opportunities you wanted disappear. Plans do not work out. At first, disappointment is natural, but many people later realize those closed doors prevented them from settling for less than what was possible. Redirection can feel painful before it makes sense. There is also the experience of a stronger inner pull. Intuition becomes louder. Certain ideas keep returning to your mind. Certain paths keep appearing in your thoughts. That internal guidance can be easy to ignore because it does not come with certainty. It comes with nudges, but those nudges often point toward the next step. Sometimes opportunities begin appearing suddenly, small ones, unexpected ones. They might not look impressive at first. That is why many people miss them. They are waiting for something big and obvious, while the real opening arrives quietly. A conversation, a connection, a new idea, a chance that looks minor but leads somewhere significant. This is where awareness matters, because fear and doubt can block progress. Negative thinking can convince someone not to try. Past disappointments can create hesitation. The mind tries to protect you from failure, but in doing so, it can also prevent success. Giving up too early is one of the most common reasons people miss breakthroughs, not because they lacked ability, but because they stopped at the hardest point. Opportunities rarely arrive perfectly packaged. They often require effort, courage, or risk. When someone ignores small beginnings, they sometimes miss large outcomes that would have grown from them. Movement creates momentum. Action creates clarity. Waiting for perfect certainty can lead to standing still. Patience becomes powerful in moments like this. Not passive waiting, but active patience. Continuing to show up, continuing to prepare, continuing to believe that timing matters. You are not forgotten. Your effort is not wasted. Even when results are invisible, progress can still be happening internally and externally. There is also comfort in understanding that life does not move randomly. Seasons change, circumstances shift. What feels permanent today can look temporary later. Many people who once felt stuck eventually reached moments they once prayed for. The distance between struggle and breakthrough often feels longer than it actually is. You are closer than you think, not because someone is offering false hope, but because progress usually accumulates quietly before becoming visible. Like water heating before it boils, change can be building before it shows. The final moment looks sudden, but the process was gradual. Staying consistent matters more than dramatic effort. Small actions repeated over time create results. Keeping faith matters because belief influences behavior. When you believe something is possible, you act differently. You notice opportunities. You take steps. You remain open instead of shutting down. Being ready to act is also important. When opportunities come, hesitation can cause them to pass. Preparation allows faster response. Confidence grows from repetition and learning. Even mistakes contribute to readiness because they teach adjustment. Gratitude can shift perspective in powerful ways. Focusing on what is working instead of only what is missing changes emotional energy. Gratitude does not ignore problems. It balances them with awareness of progress and possibility. That mindset supports resilience and hope at the same time. Continuing forward even when results are not visible yet can place you exactly where you need to be when the moment arrives. And right now, in this moment, there is something important you need to remember. Your story is not over. Your waiting season is not wasted. Every step you took, even the ones that felt small, even the ones that felt pointless, brought you closer to where you are supposed to be. Growth was happening, strength was forming, alignment was taking place even when you could not see it. Your breakthrough is near, not someday far away, not in some distant future that feels impossible to reach. Near, closer than you think. Sometimes the biggest shift happens right after the longest silence. Sometimes the door opens right after the moment you almost stopped knocking. Timing has a way of surprising people who refuse to quit. This message found you for a reason. Out of millions of videos, millions of voices, millions of distractions, you are here listening to these words. That is not something to ignore. There are moments in life when encouragement arrives exactly when it is needed most, when clarity shows up at the edge of doubt, when hope returns right before someone decides to give up. And maybe this is one of those moments for you. Say this quietly to yourself right now. I am not forgotten. I am not behind. I am not disqualified. What is meant for me is still moving toward me. What I prayed for is still possible. I am stronger than I think. I am closer than I feel. Hold on to that truth, because the person who keeps going, even when it feels slow, is the person who eventually sees the change. The person who keeps believing even when doubt whispers, is the person who recognizes the opportunity when it arrives. The person who stays ready is the person who steps into the next chapter with confidence instead of fear. So keep your faith steady. Keep your heart open. Keep your eyes aware. The season can change faster than you expect. And when it does, you will look back and realize that nothing you went through was meaningless. It was preparation. It was positioning. It was part of the path. If this message spoke to you, take a moment to affirm it. Comment the words "I receive" below. Let it be a declaration of faith, a declaration of readiness, and a declaration that you believe something good is coming into your life. And if you felt encouragement, hope, or peace while listening to this, make sure to like this video. It helps this message reach someone else who might need it at the perfect time. Also subscribe to our channel and join this community, because these messages are created to remind you that you are never alone in your journey. Your breakthrough is near. Stay ready for it.